Imagine spending 3 years building your life in this country, working, paying taxes, staying out of trouble, raising your family, and then you finally decide, this is the year. This is the year I file for citizenship. You fill out the forms, you gather everything, you send it in. And weeks later, you get a letter back. Not an approval, not even a request for more documents, a rejection. And the reason? Something that changed in 2026 that nobody told you about. That scenario is not hypothetical. It is happening right now to applicants who did not get the updated information before they filed. And if you are watching this video, that is not going to be you. My name is Raymond Crivello. I am a senior immigration analyst and consultant. And on this channel, I break down complex immigration developments into clear, fact-based analysis that you can actually understand and use. Everything I cover here is based on official USCIS policy, regulatory guidance, and publicly available legal information. Before we go further, I need to be clear. I am not your attorney, and nothing in this video is legal advice. This content is for educational and informational purposes only. For guidance specific to your situation, always consult with a licensed immigration attorney. With that said, let us get into what you absolutely need to know before you file your N-400 in 2026. There are 4 major updates that have quietly shifted the ground under naturalization applicants in the past several months. Miss any one of them, and your application could be delayed, flagged, or outright rejected. I am going to walk you through each one, explain exactly what changed, who is affected, and what you need to do about it. So stay with me through this entire video, because the detail that matters most for your case might be the last one I cover. Let us start with what most people are calling the biggest change to the naturalization process in over a decade. USCIS has officially updated the Civics test. This is not a rumor and it is not a draft proposal. It went into effect for all applications filed after October 20th, 2025. If you are filing in 2026, this new test applies to you. Here is what changed. Under the old test format, you were asked 10 questions during your interview, and you needed to answer 6 of them correctly to pass. That was a 60% threshold. Under the new 2026 format, you will be asked 20 questions, and you must answer at least 12 correctly. That is still 60%, but the volume of questions has doubled. What that means in practical terms is that your margin for error has changed. Before, you could get 4 questions wrong and still pass. Now, you can get 8 wrong. But because the pool of questions you are drawing from is also larger, preparation requires more depth. The question bank has grown from 100 questions to 128. That means there are 28 questions in the new pool that were never part of the old test. If you have been preparing using study materials from 2024 or earlier, you may be walking into that interview with gaps in your preparation that you do not even know exist. This is the detail most people are missing. The passing score percentage did not change. The number of questions did. So people assume they are prepared because they memorized the original 100. But the 28 new questions cover updated topics, and some of them are more nuanced than what appeared before. I will include the official USCIS resource link in the description so you can access the complete updated question bank directly from the source. Now here is where this becomes critical for a specific group of applicants. If you filed your N-400 before October 20th, 2025, you are likely still under the old test rules depending on when your interview is scheduled. But if you are filing now, in 2026, the new test governs your case. Do not assume that because a friend or family member passed the old test, your preparation level matches what is now required. It may not. Take this seriously. Let us move to the second issue, which is something I see causing quiet chaos in applications right now. The 90-day early filing rule. Under current USCIS policy, you can file your N-400 up to 90 days before you meet your continuous residence requirement. For most applicants, that means you need to have held your green card for 4 years and 9 months before filing, rather than waiting the full 5 years. That rule exists to help you, but it is also a trap for applicants who calculate the date incorrectly. Here is what happens. Someone calculates their green card anniversary date, counts back 90 days, and submits their application. But they made a small error. Maybe they used their priority date instead of their lawful permanent residence date, or they counted calendar days incorrectly. USCIS does not round down. They do not give benefit of the doubt when the math is off. If you file even 1 day too early, your application can be rejected and returned, and you will have to reapply and pay the fees again. USCIS has published an official early filing calculator on their website. It does the math for you. You enter your LPR date, and it tells you the earliest date you can file. I am going to say this plainly. There is no good reason not to use it. It takes 60 seconds. I will link it in the description. Use it before you submit anything. Let us talk about the form itself, because this is the third update that is catching people off guard. USCIS periodically releases new editions of its forms, and using an outdated version will result in automatic rejection. As of 2026, the current and accepted version of Form N400 is the edition dated January 20th, 2025. If you downloaded your form before that date, or if someone gave you a printed copy, or if you found a PDF somewhere other than the official USCIS website, there is a real chance you are holding the wrong version. The new edition also reflects updated guidance around digital filing and biometric reuse policies. USCIS has expanded its provisions for reusing biometric data already on file in certain situations, which can affect the fees and steps required for some applicants. These are details buried in the form instructions that most people do not read, but they matter. The official Form N400 page on uscis.gov will always show you the current edition. Go there directly. Do not rely on third-party websites. Now I want to share a scenario that illustrates exactly why all of this matters together. Consider a man, we will call him David, who came to the United States on a family-sponsored green card 11 years ago. He built a life here. He owns a small business, he has 2 kids who are U.S. citizens by birth, and he has been a lawful permanent resident for over 5 years. Earlier this year, he decided it was finally time. He had heard that processing times were long, so he wanted to get started as soon as possible. David went online, found a Form N400, downloaded it, and started filling it out. He used a calculator on a general legal information website, not the official USCIS tool, to check his filing date. He started studying Civics using a mobile app he had used 2 years earlier when helping a cousin prepare. When David submitted his application, 3 things were quietly wrong. He had used a form edition that was no longer accepted. His calculated filing date was 3 days too early, and the Civics questions he had memorized did not include the 28 new additions. He did not know about any of it. He found out when the rejection arrived in the mail. David's story is not unusual. It is the kind of thing that happens when people are motivated, well-intentioned, and working from outdated information. The cost is not just money. It is months of delay. It is emotional strain. It is the feeling of having done everything right and still being turned away. That is why I make these videos. Now let us talk about the 4th factor that should shape your timeline decision in 2026, processing times. USCIS processing times for the N400 vary significantly depending on your field office. Some offices are processing applications in as few as 8 months. Others are running 18 months or longer. This is not a uniform national experience. It is highly location dependent, and the numbers shift every month based on staffing, application volume, and policy changes. Before you file, check the current processing time for your specific field office on the USCIS website. I will link the processing times tool in the description. This matters for 2 reasons. First, it sets realistic expectations and helps you plan around your naturalization date for things like voting registration, travel, or employment changes. Second, if you are approaching a deadline, an expiring green card, a planned international trip, or a job requirement, you need to factor in realistic wait times before you file. Also worth noting, USCIS has been issuing requests for evidence and additional documentation at higher rates in 2026. This can add additional weeks or months to your processing time. Having your documentation organized, complete, and consistent before you file reduces the chance of an RFE and keeps your case moving. So here is your action plan. Step 1. Verify your eligibility date using the official USCIS Early Filing Calculator and do not file a single day before that window opens. Step 2. Download the current edition of Form N400 directly from uscis.gov and confirm the edition date before you begin filling it out. Step 3. Study the complete and updated 2026 Civics question bank, all 128 questions, using only materials sourced from USCIS directly. Step 4. Check the current processing time for your field office so you can plan your timeline with accurate expectations. Step 5. Gather your supporting documentation now: tax returns, travel records, evidence of continuous residence, and any other materials relevant to your specific situation. And Step 6. Consult with a licensed immigration attorney, especially if you have any complications in your history, including past travel outside the country, prior criminal matters, or any gaps in your employment or residence record. Here is the broader picture I want you to hold on to as you plan. Immigration policy in 2026 is not the same as it was 2 years ago. USCIS has increased its scrutiny of naturalization applications. The bar for documentation, consistency, and civic knowledge has moved. That does not mean the process is designed to stop you. It means that preparation matters more than ever, and that the applicants who succeed are the ones who go in with accurate, current information. The stakes here are real. Citizenship is not just a document. It is the legal anchor that protects your right to remain in this country permanently, regardless of political changes. It is the ability to vote, to hold certain jobs, to travel on a U.S. passport, and to sponsor family members for immigration. It affects your financial planning, your retirement, your children's future, and your sense of security in the place you have built your life. Filing correctly, on the right date, with the right form, with the right preparation, that is not bureaucratic detail. That is protecting everything you have worked for. If you are not sure whether your situation has any complicating factors, the safest move is to speak with a qualified immigration attorney before you file. An hour of legal consultation is far less expensive than a rejected application, a refiling fee, and months of additional waiting. This is one of the moments where getting professional guidance pays for itself many times over. I want to be clear, most applicants who meet the eligibility requirements and file correctly will be approved. The naturalization process works. These updates are not designed to prevent qualified applicants from becoming citizens. They are policy changes that require updated preparation, and now you have that information. If you want accurate, fast, and reliable immigration updates, subscribe to Raymond Crivello right now and turn on notifications. Immigration policy is changing rapidly, and staying informed is no longer optional. It is essential. If this video helped you, please like it. It tells YouTube to show it to more people who need this information. Leave a comment below with your visa category or where you are in the naturalization process. I read every comment, and your question might become the next video. And if you know someone preparing to file their N-400 in 2026, share this with them right now. It could save them months of delay and a significant amount of stress. I will see you in the next one.